Hello beautiful people. The new Seek and Destroy update for War Thunder has been released today, and I will in this little video mention some of the changes and new additions that I find interesting. As usual, the content will center around what I play and am interested in War Thunder, mainly World War II, ground and air content. Hope you enjoy. We can start out in a hangar, where it is now possible to collapse each rank of vehicles you see by clicking on the rank or arrow in the top left corner of each rank section. This way I can for instance collapse the ranks that I'm not interested in playing or don't want to look at. We can now also drag and drop vehicles directly into a crew slot. Point and hold the cursor over a given vehicle and just drag it. Great thing is that you do not have to drag it down to the bottom of the screen. The lineup will appear under the cursor once you start dragging a vehicle. If we take a closer look at a vehicle in a current lineup, we now have additional options that will make it faster to do certain tasks. We now at a glance can see the number of activated backups of a vehicle, the crew number and the level of the crew as well. A yellow icon will also appear if it is recommended to upgrade the crew. Move towards the vehicle from below and up with the cursor and we can now swap crews in the lineup. In the future it will be possible to just drag and drop them instead of selecting a crew from a drop-down menu. Right above the crew swapping there is a shortcut to the crew training window. Hovering over the vehicle window that way will now also show the crew number, the level of the crew, the qualification of the vehicle and available XP points for the crew. It is a great idea, but a little finicky to use in the beginning, but I'm sure that will pass. The turret rotation of the German Panzer IIs and the little premium Panzer SFL LC has been increased from 14 to 25 degrees a second. That is quite a large increase in turret rotation and is something that you will really notice. The 75mm heat shell Granate 38C used in some of the short barrel German guns, and for instance in the Panzer IV F1, has had the armor penetration increase from 100 to 150mm. A less pleasant change has occurred to the premium battle rating 6.3 Super Hellcat. It has its engine power cut from 460 to 400 horsepower. There has also been an update to German World War II era crew models. They now have the more historical accurate appearance as panzer crews for open-top vehicles, and apparently all from the same mother or perhaps even cloned. For aircraft capable of customizing the secondary loadout, a visual weapon selector has been added. You can change the shortcut or use the default Shift A. This will bring up a visual representation of your loadout and you can then click on the weapon you want to use. So far this change is only available on the PC, but it will come to consoles in another release down the road. So while this is nice, it after 5 seconds drove me bonkers to look at personally. It is a rather large icon and it for me ruined some of the game immersion and I wanted it gone. So you can remove it if you go to Options, Battle Interface and then say no to Show Action Bar in Battle. Mind you that if you choose to do that, the action bar for ground vehicles will also disappear. So you will have to do that every single time you switch to aircraft and back to ground vehicles. It's quite annoying and I hope that Gaijin down the line will add an additional option to remove it from only aircraft. Personally I will never use this option since I have set a key to switch secondary weapons. That basically does the same, just in text. So for now I will have to deal with switching between action bar and no action bar. The two German Arado jet bombers can now deploy drag chutes when landing. Sound-wise there has been a lot of changes, including changes to aircraft guns, making them more clear and dynamic, at least according to Gaijin. There has also been added a mid-frequency layer to explosions of shells and bombs close by. You can now also shoot out individual wheels on, well, wheeled vehicles. I have not had a chance to test out this new change, but I'm sure it will add another layer of realism. A lot of Japanese World War II aircraft now has the engine fire system added. All of the A5M4s, A6M2, A6M3, A7M, J2M2 and J2M3, which mean all of the Zeros and more. Even a couple of dive bombers like the D3A1 Val and the DY4s now have the system. On the other hand, the same system has been removed from the US A20G25 Havoc and the Soviet A20G30. Two Italian World War II fighter aircraft has had bombs added. The Italian RE-2005 has had two 160 kg armor-piercing bombs added, and the RE-2001CB has had a single 630 kg armor-piercing bomb added. And since the bombs are armor-piercing, they are meant to be used against shipping. The American fighter aircraft P-51D-20-NA and the Israeli P-51D-20-NA can now carry 100, 250 and 500 kg bombs. These new bombs can also be added to the P-51D-30 and the P-51K for China. The British squadron vehicle Firecrest is now able to use RP3 rockets and has had two 500 kg bombs added. And lastly, the Spitfire F Mark 22 and Mark 24 can now use the Triplix RP rockets. That basically concludes what I found interesting in the patch notes. Do let me know in the comment section if there are any other changes or additions you find interesting, and of course also changes that has occurred that has not been mentioned in the patch notes at all. And that was about it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to deploy your dive brakes. Have a good one.